many players have opted out of the season restart, and this can hurt teams as they will try to be good in these games and try to make a playoff berth. So, which teams and players do you think will be impacted the most out of these opt-outs?
Well, the team that I had is really the Patriots because the Patriots in free agency lost four starters, um, defensive starters in free agency and trades, and now they're losing two more in Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung in opt-outs. And specifically, those two played some of their best seasons in New England. And I think this really hurts the Patriots because they had one of the best defenses last year. And because so many players have been lost for them, I think it really might come back to haunt them as they try to look for a playoff spot and be a dark horse contender. But one player I have for someone who's impacted most by the opt-outs is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was selected by the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round with the final pick of the first round, the 32nd pick. And the reason they selected him is because they thought that he fits their scheme very well because he's an all-purpose back because he's able to catch passes out of the backfield and run very hard while carrying the ball. And they can use him in multiple ways. And with Damien Williams, their lead running back, opting out, that means Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be the number one running back in Kansas City. And because of that, he'll have a big role to show whether or not Kansas City was right about choosing him with their first round pick.
Yeah, I think for a team that really has been impacted is the Patriots. They really lost basically their entire roster, and I think because of this, Cam Newton won't look good to the media. I think he'll be great as a player, but I think he won't look great because of the losses that he has with this team. I think the Patriots have a plan here, and that is to draft Trevor Lawrence in the 2021 draft, NFL draft. And I think this is part of their plan for the Patriots. And I think it'll all work out in the long run because this season might even be canceled or shut down because there isn't really a good plan for the NFL. But a player that really is impacted the most is the Kansas City Chiefs running back rookie. I think he's a great pickup, and I think he was the Chiefs planned this out really well, and I think they drafted him. And Damien Williams will be missed, and I think he was a great player for the Chiefs. But with this rookie, I think he will have time to develop and be a great running back for this team.
Well, now that we know that Damien Williams has opted out, do you think this is a blessing in disguise for the Chiefs? Do you think that they actually improve with replacing Damien Williams with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, especially because we don't know how good he is because he's never played in an NFL game?
Yeah, I kind of think it is. I mean, for the Chiefs, you would have loved to have Damien Williams because he's had experience and he knows how to play and he knows all the plays and everything. But I think this really helps not only the Chiefs with their rookie because they can work with each other. They can develop in these first two games, and then they can. I think he'll be a great player for them, and I think they'll probably make it to the Super Bowl again, and possibly repeat.
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you think? How well do you think the Patriots will do? Do you think to draft Trevor Lawrence? Obviously, he's probably going to be a top 5 draft pick. Do you think that the Patriots are going to tank this year? Do you think that they will be able to because they have a great coach and they have a great quarterback? They still have a lot of key players like Stephon Gilmore, the Defensive Player of the Year. Do you think that they will be able to tank for Trevor Lawrence this coming year?
Yeah, I think so because their defense was really good and one of the best in the league. And I think with most of all the players gone in either free agency or them opting out, that really hurts them as as we don't know what Cam Newton is like after almost a year and a half now. So even though they have a great coach in Bill Belichick and a great quarterback in Cam Newton and pieces like Julian Edelman. I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to make it far and have a good record. I think they will tank, and I think they're. I think they'll probably win maybe 4 or 5 games.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there because a great coach with a decent team is better than is most likely going to do or perform better record wise than a great team with a decent coach. We saw that with the Dallas Cowboys. Look where they got. They became 18. I mean 8-8 with a Super Bowl contending roster, and I believe the Cleveland Browns, just like them, went I think 7-9, and both of them had decent coaches but not great coaches. Bill Belichick, even though with one of the best defense of the year, that has to be credited to their schedule. Even though he did have one of the best defenses last year, he didn't really have many weapons on offense with the aging quarterback in Tom Brady. And they, I believe, won 12 games and lost 4 games, 12-4. So I really think the coach, because he's such a great coach, that'll impact their record more than what a decent roster would be. And because I think that they won't be tanking for Trevor Lawrence, I think they could take a quarterback midway through the draft. But I still think that they'll win too many games with Belichick to tank for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I see your points there. I understand where you're coming from, but since these players have opted out, do you think, or does your Super Bowl contenders change?
Nope, not for me, because I still believe Kansas City will continue to be the Super Bowl favorites because I think they perfectly replaced Damien Williams, actually possibly upgraded from Damien Williams. And no other contender, whether dark horse or true contender, really lost any key players. I mean, the real only star that was, I believe, lost in the opt-outs was C.J. Mosley, and he's playing for the Jets. And we all know the Jets aren't anywhere near true contenders. And because every team is in a similar position as they were before, nothing for me really changes, and neither do the contending teams.
Yeah, I agree with your points. I think Kansas City is one of those top teams, and I think those they're probably will repeat for the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl as well. But you really don't know who's your contenders and stuff until the games actually start because every year it basically changes and the narrative changes for every team. And we really don't have a great understanding of where the team and the players are until these games start. So I think we'll have to see when the games start and how it impacts the players and the teams.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Do you think Baltimore has a chance to compete with Kansas City? I mean, everything is always based on that one game in the playoffs. I think they could compete with Baltimore. Even I think they could compete with Kansas City, even though Kansas City's passing weapons are unreal. What about you? Do you think that they'll be able to contend with them?
Yeah, I think they will, and I think last year was just kind of a trial year because Lamar Jackson was a young quarterback who hasn't had playoff experience, and now since last year he did, I think that he could be a competition for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they could be a really hard matchup if they do match up in the playoffs. And I think that they can become a great team this season.
Well, I agree with you. I believe Kansas City are the favorites with the New Orleans Saints, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Baltimore Ravens each being the next tier behind them. And I think it's going to be a great NFL season to watch, even with some players opting out.